leave the field to play so quickly at the end. Such were the conditions they had to play in for large spells of the second half. Clare 4 points up at half time, 112-11, that having hit 13 wides, which must be a concern for manager Brian Lowe. And the goal coming in the 10th minute, courtesy of Shane O'Donnell. Laois really rallying though from the water break to half time. They did trail by 6 points at one stage shortly after O'Donnell's goal, but they did reduce the deficit to 2 points just before half time, before two quick scores from Aidan McCarthy and Colm Malone extended that buffer for Clare to 4 points. A much different story in the second half. Clare sides exchanging the opening points of the half, but then Clare just really pulling away. A run of 4 unanswered scores before they eventually opened up a 12-point lead. That's shortly after a goal from Mark Rogers in the 49th minute. The competition really put beyond doubt at that stage. Clare just doing enough to manage the game between then and conclusion. So a first win for Clare. Laois still without any points from the league campaign. Full-time score here in O'Moore Park. It is finished. Clare 2-27, Laois 1-17. I think we're going to go to Páirc Uí Chaoimh to check in on the game between Cork and Westmeath. And there for us, Mike McCartney.
And it ended Cork 7 goals and 27 points, Westmeath 15 points. The Lake County were hoping for a better performance today after running Waterford close last weekend, but Cork made 7 changes from last week's game with Tipperary, and every player was hoping to impress Kieran Kingston and his selectors. Shane Barrett, Patrick Horgan and Alan Cadigan took the second half goals with ease, and Alan Connolly had his second goal of the afternoon in the Leesiders' 7th, 15 minutes into the half, and at the water break Cork led by 7-19 to 9 points. Killian Doyle drove a ball low and hard at the Cork goalkeeper, but Ger Collins kept it out. The Leesiders had first half goals from Alan Connolly, also from Luke Meath and Patrick Horgan. It ended Cork 7 goals and 27 points, Westmeath 15 points.
That is 14 goals for Cork in 3 league matches. It is some going. I know you might say, okay, look, Westmeath have shipped a lot of goals this year, but you look at their performance against Waterford last week. I think for Cork hurling fans, they'll have a bit of a pep in their step watching a team scoring a lot of goals in a game like that. It's all over in Carrick-on-Shannon in Division 4 of the Alliance Football League. Leitrim against Louth. Mickey Hart looking for his first league win there. Has he got it, Angelina Nugent?
He certainly has, Jackie. 19 points to 10, the final score here at Park Sean McDermott. Really, the story of the second half, a scoreless period of 32 minutes for Leitrim, and Louth getting scores from literally all over the field. They had further points since we joined you from the likes of Liam Jackson, Kieran Keenan and Declan Byrne, the substitute. Late scores for Leitrim from Mark Plunkett with a 45 and Tom Pryor with a point on the stroke of the full-time period, or just too late. They were their first score since the first minute of the second half when Keith Byrne scored. So it's a very important win, as you said, for Louth. They've come here to Carrick-on-Shannon and claimed all 2 points in Division 4 North. Both teams lost their opening games last weekend. They win this one on a 19 points to 10 scoreline against Leitrim.
Okay, in the other game, Meath leading 9 points to 7 against Down. You're not going to believe this, Jackie, but Aston Villa have just taken a 1-0 lead against Chelsea 2 minutes before half time. I wonder how it's going at the King Power Stadium. Leicester City and Tottenham. Nikesh, over to you.
Well, yeah, just approaching half-time, and that news will be filtering around to the fans here. But the bad news for them is that Tottenham have equalised there just a couple of minutes ago, and it was Harry Kane, slightly against the run of play, really. The Foxes have been on top for most of this half. They've had several other good chances, as well as that Jamie Vardy penalty. But Kane eventually latching onto a deflected cross from Son from the right-hand side of the box. It was a lovely finish from around 10 yards out. No chance of Kasper Schmeichel stopping that one. Silenced the crowd for a few moments here at the King Power Stadium, and Tottenham just easing their way back into the match, which isn't good news for Leicester. So I'm sure they'll be hoping that half-time comes pretty soon. They can regroup and go once again. It's currently here Leicester City 1, Tottenham 1.
Okay, Nikesh, you could go through all the scores. I think it's worth doing it. They're all approaching half-time or thereabouts. It is half-time, and it's Arsenal 0, Brighton 0. Villa 1 up against Chelsea, a minute to go there to half-time. Fulham trail Newcastle by a goal to 0. Leeds 2 up against West Brom. Leicester 1, Tottenham 1. Liverpool 1 up against Crystal Palace. The champions Manchester City have a 2-goal lead against Everton. Sheffield United 1, Burnley 0. West Ham 2, Southampton 0, West Ham on their way to the Europa League, it looks like, and Wolves 1, Manchester United 1. But in terms of the Champions League run-in, at the minute in pole position are Leicester City and Liverpool. Chelsea would lose out if things were to stay as is, although they would have a chance to qualify if they could win the Champions League final against Manchester City. There you go.
Just to add a bit of complication to matters, but thrilling day of the Premier League. You won't miss a beat of it between now and 6 o'clock. We'll keep you up to date on that. In Walsh Park, it is Limerick leading Waterford 13 points to 10. Red card there in the first half. If you're just joining the programme, Seamus Flanagan sent off on a straight red for Limerick, so they are playing with 14 men in that game. The other match, it's 43 minutes on the clock, where Meath lead down by 10 points to 7 in the Alliance Football League. We'll be back in Walsh Park straight after this.
Sunday Sport on RTE Radio 1. There's breakups, breakdowns, and even breakfasts. Delicious. But for better breaks, go to 123breaks.ie, where you'll find top deals on Irish hotels. Switch your car insurance to 123.ie today and save €50 on your next 123 break. 123.ie. Give better a try. Acceptance criteria, T's and C's apply. Offer ends May 31st. 123 Money Limited Trading as 123.ie is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland. RSA Insurance Ireland Act provides 123.ie car insurance.
At Tesco, every little helps goes way beyond helping with your shopping. Because a little help is
donating 200,000 meals every month to community groups.
And supporting almost 45,000 jobs nationwide.
A little help is working to make food more sustainable.
It's raising over 6 million for Children's Health Foundation Temple Street.
A little help makes a big difference.
Tesco, every little helps.
Sunday Sport on RTE Radio 1 is sponsored by Joe Duffy Group. With over 1,000 approved cars to choose from nationwide, Joe Duffy has you covered. Think used cars. Think joeduffy.ie. Text 51551. Sunday Sport on RTE Radio 1.
Yeah, Manchester United have gone 2-1 up against Wolves, just approaching half-time in that game in the Premier League. There's a goal at the Athletic Grounds, National Football League. Let's check in there with our reporter, Damien Lawler.
Yes, 9 minutes gone in the second half. It's Meath 1-10 down 7 points. An important goal for Killian O'Sullivan just at the end. It's been all Meath in the second half. Jordan Morris, he's third and 4 points of the day on a darkening Sunday evening. A torrential downpour out there. Conditions are underfoot, quite shocking. But Meath counter-attacked in fine style. They exploited down, and Killian O'Sullivan snuck in from the corner. His first shot was blocked, but he slid the ball past Mark Reid for a fantastic goal. Just before half-time, Reid had the night. O'Sullivan with a fine block, but this time he hit the back of the net. Down are under pressure now. They have to try and push up. This may not suit them, but they're trailing 1-10 to 7 points with 10 minutes of the second half gone, and have just lost a player to a black card as well.
Alright, thanks Damien. Johnny Flynn gone off there, and we'll keep you up to date on that game. Let's go back to Walsh Park, where it is a 3-point game between Limerick and Waterford. Let's rejoin Shane McGrath, Port Lodge.
Thank you, Jackie. 9 minutes played in the second half. Limerick 14 points, Waterford 11 points. A bright start to the second half made by the home team here. They got 3 points without reply. Stephen Bennett and then Iarla Daly after a powerful run through the middle, and then Stephen Bennett with a free from the 65 made it 3 in a row for Waterford. And there were 2 wide efforts from Bennett from frees as well. They were a fair distance out in his own half, but he went for the shot from both of them, didn't deliver. Here's a chance for Caleb Lyons from outside the 45, and it's another score for Waterford. They're very much up and running in the game now. Aaron Galanda won for Limerick, so it's 14 points to 12 now.
Yeah, they've been much a better team in the third quarter. Outscored Limerick 4 points to 1. Just to kind of paint a picture for everyone, for Limerick, the way they're setting up, one guy inside the 45, it's either Peter Casey or Aaron Galanda, and they're trying to hit the space in front of them.
There's a fair bit of fire and spark in this game, a little bit noticeable around the pitch. To remind you, Seamus Flanagan sent off during the course of the first half. Limerick have made one change since the second half began. Will O'Donoghue came on, he took the place of Robbie Hanley. Waterford are working it short now, distributing the ball downfield
is Jake Dillon, trying to angle the ball across now towards the full forward line. Limerick trying to frantically get the cover back. Sean Flynn trying to get a flick in. Flynn trying to get a flick in. Advancing forward is Stephen Bennett, the centre of the D. Low effort from Bennett, comes back off the post. He went for goal there. The follow-up chance is being smothered up by Sean Flynn, who scoops the ball outfield. Well, that could have been a significant score there. The goal was there for Waterford, but it remains 14 points to 12, and Limerick, like they do, working bit by bit up the field. Darragh O'Donovan is onto it now, outside the 45, opening the shoulders, going for the score. The umpire is reaching for the white flag from one end of the field to the other. Significant events.
Oh, massive 30 seconds of play there. Stephen Bennett, he was about 30 yards out. He stopped, he steadied it up, he went for the goal, he hit the ball so hard off the post, the ball could have burst. Then Limerick working up the field, nice and casually, and a great score by Darragh O'Donovan.
Here go Waterford again. There's definitely more fire in there still in the second half. Kevin Moore, who came on as a sub in the first half, had it momentarily, but it's lost, and Limerick collecting it in the defence again, and now they work it out along the stand side of the field to Conor Boylan, wearing number 12, evading the challenge of Moore and threading the ball forward to Cian Lynch from Patrick Swell, and back they play to the new man in. That's Will O'Donoghue down the stand side, and he goes. He's lost the hurl, he plays it back, and it's a free out being awarded here. That's going to be a Limerick ball.
Yeah, no, it was a silly free, like we've seen I suppose a lot of last week, coming in with the hurley, leaving it in or pulling the arm. But I mean, it's a real statement of intent for me, for Limerick, is that do they want to win the game? 12 of their so-called maybe top 20 players are there starting it, and then you bring on the likes of William O'Donoghue. Limerick really want to win this, and I tell you, you talk about games being turning points. If Limerick get a win here today against the win of 14 men, it'll be massive for the group.
Darragh O'Donovan directing the free out towards Aaron Gallan. Gallan is a battle over there for possession. Prunty's there close to him. The Waterford defender out over the line. It goes right in front of the dressing room complex opposite us here in the stand side. The dressing room is located over in the far left corner as we look out on a breezy day as the sun breaks through. A light shower earlier on. The steward over in the car park said he expected that we would get through the game without any significant rainfall, and he's proven to be correct so far. The line cut to Waterford is on their own 13-metre line. It's Limerick with an advantage of 15 points to 12. 10 minutes played. The goal in the second half. The goalkeeper offered the back pass there. That wasn't taken, and the ball is landing around the centre of the field now with Darragh O'Donovan getting a touch on it, playing it back to Cian Lynch. Lynch sending a low ball across now. Racing forward there is Conor Boylan. Doesn't reach Boylan. It's played across now to the man wearing number 7, Kyle Hayes, outside the 20, lofting it in, but that's going to go to the right and wide. He backed himself with a score there, but he couldn't deliver.
Yeah, he'd normally be slotting him over. You know, that breeze today, for anyone, if you're not watching it or you don't know what the weather's like in Waterford today, there's a swirling breeze. We've no hailstones, but we've a breeze flying around the place. That's 10 wides now for Limerick. Very uncharacteristic of them. Like
a huge puck out with the win from Billy Nolan, the Waterford goalkeeper from Rowan Moore, but it only lands down as far as Dan Morrissey from Mahan. He's the Limerick fullback, and Will O'Donoghue is onto it now, sending a low ball in again to the half forward line for Limerick, and there's a foul committed there and a chance for them to get another score now from outside the 45.
Yeah, like, you know, Conor Gleeson, he's been given the task of man marking Peter Casey. In fairness to him, he has done a great job up to this. That was a foul though, you know. That's Limerick, that's their 4-3 they've won. So I think Cian Lynch has to be mentioned here as well. We know he's a brilliant hurler and his sticksmanship and everything, but he has caught 2 or 3 big puck outs there and really helped to settle the thing down, and he's really leading the charge here now with winning primary possession for Limerick in this third quarter so far, Pádraig, anyway.
But John Kiley sent 3 subs down along the sideline for a warm-up to perhaps suggest that they could come in fairly shortly. He's already brought Will O'Donoghue in for Robbie Hanley. The free in a centre position for Gallan is outside the 45. The wind is against him, and we've seen during the course of the first half what a tricky wind it's been to judge for the players so far in this game. But Gallan is just a solid free taker from Patrick Swell. A big impression in the All-Ireland final when these sides met last December, and it's the usual result from Gallan, another score.
Yeah, great score by Gallan. As I said, he's very, very settled, very composed, and them frees as well. Limerick will be very happy the way they've kind of weathered the storm from Waterford with the goal chance and everything. And Austin from downtown, as you say yourself, it's going to drop short though.
Going to let us drop in short. Nicky Quaid is watching and trying to follow up. There is Shane Bennett for Waterford, and a free out is awarded to Limerick, who are leaving free out with a clock at 49 minutes. 16 points to 12 the score remains.
Yeah, they're so composed at the back. Dan Morrissey and Sean Finn, if you're a full forward line and you're looking at these two guys, you know you're going to have your hands full, and Morrissey won that free there, used all his experience, you know, and you know they're very, very solid at the back, and they're so composed the way they work the ball against the wind as well, Pádraig.
So the puck out launches, lands around the centre of the field. 15 minutes gone here in the game, Walsh Park. Limerick 16 points, Waterford 12 points.
Thanks, Pádraig. We'll check in on those half times now in the Premier League and give you a picture of how it all looks. Our first protocol, though, we'll get some reports from the grounds at Villa Park. A very, very significant scoreline. Abigail Davies, how's it going between Aston Villa and Chelsea?
It's Aston Villa 1, Chelsea 0 here. As things stand, Chelsea is sat in 4th place on goal difference. It's Bertrand Traore who gave Villa the lead, his 8th goal of the season. It was a half largely dominated by the visitors, who pressed high and set the tempo from the outset. Tuchel's side had a number of glorious opportunities, with Mount, Pulisic and Werner all coming close, but they're just lacking that clinical edge. It's Villa who lead here at half-time 1-0.
Liverpool are keeping up their end of the bargain as well. They lead by a 1-0 against Crystal Palace at Anfield. Let's get the story. This one from Shane Pennington.
It's Liverpool 1, Crystal Palace 0, and Sadio Mane's strike just before half-time separates these two sides, although Liverpool were pretty slow out of the blocks in this first half, and Palace had a few good chances of their own. Andros Townsend forced a good save from Alisson with an in-swinging free kick, and then shot wide with the goal gaping. But Liverpool slowly grew into the game, and Trent Alexander-Arnold and Reece Williams both sniffed good chances before Liverpool took the lead 9 minutes before the break. Andy Robertson with a corner, Reece Williams with a flick on, and there was Sadio Mane to score from close range. It's Liverpool 1, Crystal Palace 0.
Yeah, so far so good. Liverpool and Chelsea occupy those top 4 places. Leicester City, Nikesh, they have to do with more to do in the second half, don't they, against Tottenham?
That's right, yes. Leicester 1, Tottenham 1 at the break here. Leicester were holding on to one of those Champions League positions right up until 4 minutes before the half, when Spurs equalised. The home side, they'll feel slightly hard done by after being on top for most of the half. Jamie Vardy put them ahead from the penalty.